map that can still deliver some really solid Counter-Strike. From the get-go, it does feel like it might just be a simple hit on the B bomb site, though. I say simple. Of course, nowadays, we still see some utility being deployed that can be super effective at clearing out some of these more awkward angles at plateau, but still, just the 2 frags by the B defenders, I'm not sure it's going to be enough, because we know how difficult it is to retake this part of the map, and a 3v3 retake, this is looking good as any potential victory as it can be for the T side, but the CTs, they'll give it their best shot. Belenchuk, not too bad. A second frag for him. And it's all up to Miltsy. And it will be your boy Belchanok to close it out 1-0.
I think AW gave us some interesting insight in terms of sort of the mentality and how important the energy is in the room. Hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of that on the player cams throughout this series. A good start from ENCE though. The 4 spy gets aggressive in B tunnels, finds the opening kill. A lot of damage taken in the process, but the numbers in their favor. Oh my god, Casilla, that is wild. Still, PARIVISION will have the advantage.
Not too bad. Still, I find this somewhat doable for the CT side to inflict good damage.
Oh, no.
We're seeing exactly that. Pody whips out the USPS to get the finisher. Oh, and that is also a player in the form of James. Oh, he actually evades the bullet.
The bomb's dropped as well, Danny.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. Bomb is dropped, and you can see that Miltsy is in a prime position to try and shut down someone like Belchanok. I feel like that off angle should win him the fight every single day of the week. There we go. No problem whatsoever. And it is all up to Lonesome Jame in a 1v2. And you can see Jame, he is not concerned with trying to go for the retake. He'd rather inspect that knife of his. Crimson Web, something.
From a team at this level in a tournament this important. For PARIVISION, there was a star that shone. It was Jame. A couple of decent pieces alongside him. Belchanok had a good game as well. And Casilla was sort of not far behind, but the man calling the shots was the one actually putting up the big numbers. Good trade from Casilla. Gives them some room out onto B. A chance to get this bomb planted as well. In fact, yeah, they'll have all the room they can ask for. ENCE don't even want to play for the retake, realizing that, yeah, this B site notoriously the most difficult to get back into in the game. And with a man disadvantage and only 1 kit.
Doesn't want to overstay his welcome. Nade comes in. And yeah, this is where you gotta retreat, because if there was anyone in lower tunnels, this could have been terrible. But it's still a solid start. Look at Pody go.
Still just rattling off shots, hoping that something connects, but no one on the receiving end of it. Molly towards the doors. Nota's going to reroute up short. He would have heard Sunday Young dropping into CT, so he'll know that nobody is holding on this corner, and he's got an opportunity to take a little bit of space. A tiptoe forward. Pody still on the angle. Flashbang's good. Doesn't fully blind him. It's enough that he can hit the first shot. The second goes under the armpit. Somehow doesn't connect. And now PARIVISION have got a chance to plant.
Miltsy out of the open. Double peek is damn strong. Sunday Young, there we go, getting as close as possible. But, oh, Belchanok, ooh, losing a big chunk of his health. 30 seconds, though, not a full commit. Oh, this is awkward. Oh, no! They want to go for a boost. Oh, no! They get absolutely wrecked, and you gotta wonder, perhaps... Yeah, I mean, if ENCE wanted to make a play like that, it had to be super precise, and it had to be a lot quicker.
Certainly did. Big start from Sunday Young. Lovely entry. Get things started for ENCE. It's been an awkward couple of rounds from them, so back in style, that's for sure. Weird smoke from PARIVISION. Sort of gives the illusion that they're going to try and lurk around the left-hand side of it, which is why Rigon jumps up on top of the boxes, wants a deep sightline. Realizes that's not the case. It's all just a bit of a fake. PARIVISION are coming later down the line. Grouping up as 3. Nota will be eliminated towards long. And just as they were thinking about pulling a rotation over, PARIVISION walk in 1 by 1. They feed the beast. And the Kraken on the ENCE logo. Gets a nice little meal on a 4th round.
Yeah, once again, it's another solid hold on the B bomb side, and we didn't even need to see the antics of Rigged. It was Natu finding a fair amount of impact. Speaking of impact, though, I mean, yeah, sure, Potty goes down, but I've honestly been enjoying the fact that Potty's being mega aggressive, you know, finding a lot of opening frags as well. Like I said as well in that previous round, once we saw PARIVISION's attempt at that A bomb site hit, one of the worst things that can happen is if you are sloppy on the exec, there's a big chance that that opera, the CT side, can find a lot of good impact. Maybe the round isn't over just yet. I mean, Zillow is doing a lot of good work, you know, finding a fair amount of impact. Oh, okay. Recovers the AWP. Just wanted to make sure that this round is as costly as possible for the likes of ENCE, and surely it is, you know, losing both ops.
And I'm just going to stay here for the rest of the round when they come for the execution. It's kind of headshot or bust. Oh, lovely stuff. That is such a brilliant support flash from Pody for the peak.
And SDY with the MP9 as well. If that would have been just a little bit longer engagement, I don't see a world in which the MP9 comes out on top. Those long-range fights with that gun have become a lot more difficult. Pody, man, once again, this guy can deliver, but we'll be going down to a Belchinok. Jame as well with a reply. That gives a good chance for PARIVISION to at least secure a bomb plant, which already is looking pretty damn good. But the CT is in solid positions. They at least don't have to worry about long, which is, for the most part, a big headache for the CT side. Right now, SDY. Oh, that's a big frag by miltzy. Suddenly, AWP has to keep a close eye on short, doesn't win the gunfight, and Belchinok low HP. Headshot will suffice for miltzy. You can see he's hyped, and ENCE are feeling it. That is a big round to take, and despite PARIVISION's best efforts, ENCE, I mean, they're looking solid as ever, even in a 3v3 retake like that. He should ride. I mean, in this position, he has been consistently getting at least a single frag. And right now, 50 seconds remaining. There we go. There's the flash. There's the drop down as well. Some Dayang just keeps on spraying through the smoke. It's a good thing as well that ENCE are more than willing to give up the A bomb site, because they know they could still get in some really solid positions, take control of short, move in down from CT spawn, and of course you still have vision from long, which is absolutely crucial in a retake like this. Perhaps, no, actually we're not going to see anyone up in short. Not sure if that's going to be causing them issues. Perhaps not, because it's some Dayang getting 2. Oh, what? Zillow finding himself 3 frags with the Tech 9, and now Pody with the USPS. He's not going to go for it. I mean, this round is over, and oh boy, PARIVISION. That is a round they were not supposed to win.
Yeah, you can see a little smile on Casillo's face. He knows they've got away with murder there. Pody pulling away at the end. I mean, you know, the AWP's the wrong weapon for the job, but you're looking at the HP on PARIVISION and thinking, he could definitely have a crack at that. One bullet would have finished both. That is just so unbelievable from Casillo. Like,
a player in long who does have the M3 finesse, but not for Casillo. Ooh, some Dayang. He's in a great position, man. It should be so... Wow. So much for the hype.
Quick. Yep. Well, that's your short player gone, and nobody to take his place. Pody's been mollied, so he can't even aggress from CT, and the only support is miltzy, who's deep on long, and he's got a 5-7. And he's crashed. Look at his screen. I was thinking, I'm not really sure what he's holding here, but yeah. Oh, there we go. He's back.
Back in the game.
Okay, cool. That was kind of interesting to see that from actually his monitor. Oh, no, he's gone again. Ay. To be fair, better to happen on a round like this and in a scenario like this than any other time. There we go. He has disconnected, so I imagine we'll see a little bit of a pause after this round, but it doesn't have any bearing on the overall outcome. Yeah, just a little tempo shift and individuals fragging out on their entry jewels that does a lot of favors here for PARIVISION. AW looking for a frag at the end, a little hunt. Rigon goes. They just make it that little bit more expensive. As PARIVISION pull ahead at the halfway point, they are on to 6, a chance to make this 7. Given how this one started, I think they're going to be pretty happy with how this is looking right now. Jame on the boost over. Pody anticipates. That is beautiful. And he's going to press for more as well. Knows that, of course, there has to be a bottom to that boost. And he's not crossed yet, but misses the opportunity. Has to slip away. And Casillo says no.
That's quite insane. He lands that shot. Samda Young. Oh, even given a chance. What a second. And almost a third. Man, oh man, this guy can find so much impact for ENCE, and this is just one of those maps where he's just, you know, you give him something like a B short position here and A short, and he's just able to find so much impact. Oh, I was kind of hoping to see whether both players can line up. Not to be the case, but a 6-6 score line.
Any individual can step up. As I say, just an hour and a half ago, it was Rigon going nuclear. Now he's gone a bit quiet. But his boys step up in his absence. Naitu cracking the head of Casillo to get things going. That is a huge frag and a huge piece to take early. 16-8. He's been doing so much of the lifting here for PARIVISION. Having to make up for Nota's absence, who's yet to put a kill on the board. AW with one of his own here on long. Puts it back into a 4-on-4, but the pressure's on. They need to call in for the reinforcements.
Tapping away, and yeah, this is an engagement ENCE just doesn't want to be a part of. But then again, Milsey, good position for him. 3 players gunning him down, absolutely. But this is where, yeah, I mean, if you're ENCE, you are very much aware of the remaining 3 players. You might as well just book it towards the B bomb side. Getting across is the big issue. Naitu with a good response, but there's Belchanok with another frag of his own, and suddenly returning back towards the A bomb side doesn't seem like an absurd idea, especially if Samda Young cracks open a skull of another player, and now it is just Belchanok with the USPS. Oh, Pody! This has been quite a successful pistol run for him.
More methodical approach. Saw PARIVISION with a lot of pace on their T side, especially in those final few rounds, just playing off of their individuals and the entries that they could deliver. A missed smoke, though. Makes things a little bit complicated. They'll try and work their way out through Cat, but with the CT smoke adding to the chaos of it as well, it's just clouds galore. Eventually they'll find their way through, and Miltsy, alongside Pody's flashbang, gives them the entry. Rigon follows up to the man on Goose. Jame, Belchanok, AW, all fall like flies. And Dominoes, one by one, will topple. Samda Young kicks over the last. And ENCE on to 9 on their opponent's map pick. We do expect some resistance from them here, though. And if they don't give it to us, then it might just be game over. ENCE pushing for 11 rounds. And they're about to burst out onto this B site where only Belchanok's here to defend. And I don't think 1-for-1 really cuts it. Nice skill from Samda Young on the rotation. Casillo's able to trade. But a 3v3, bomb being tapped in. And Nota has no means of denying it.
At least have the kid here to work with, but then again, just entering the B bomb site in its own right is such a hassle for the CTs. They still have even some utility remaining. There we go, another Molotov deployed. So you know this round is practically over and done with. There's really no need to.
That's really the only difference. It was 6-6 not so long ago. The PARIVISION economy, they've struggled to stabilize, they've struggled to find rounds. A big opening kill from Jame. The fact that it's gone untraded is very, very important. Big piece falling as well, Pody. And it's been causing them all sorts of problems with the sniper on the other side. The big hitter, Samda Young, still alive and kicking. It'll be Rigon to take contact here on short as well. Casillo actually prematurely drops the smoke, doesn't even need to take the jolt. Rigon's just going to shift through it. Oh, I really like this. Oh. Wow, that is brilliant.
Really well played by Rigon. Must have heard the player jumping down as well. That gives him a chance to just push through the smoke, find a big frag. Still no bomb plant, but it should be happening, especially now with the long player backing away. Jame is in no position to try and contest this. AW still trying to get in a better position, moving in just a little bit closer, but there's simply no chance. If you got Rigon still alive and kicking, It is already on 4 frags, and that ace is looking mighty possible, especially against James. But okay,
Oh!
James is just not gonna pull the trigger. Hold up.
Oh my god, Ninja defuse.
Hold up.
He's just picked up a kit as well. This would be absolutely ridiculous, James. Only he would go for a play like this. And they might just be out of range. He's going to slip in, hold the defuse. Sunday Young's heard it. He's just within the sphere, but James might just get it over the line. No, it comes down to the final fraction of a second. That would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, right now, ENCE is just on a whole nother level. They're looking a lot better as a team, and individually speaking as well. This is looking like a much better team on Dust 2.
I think James attempted Ninja Defuse at the end there, sort of took the spotlight off of Rigon, but I want to put it right back on him. That 4K in the last round was unbelievable, and a player that had a bit of a quiet game up until that point. He was sat 8 and 12, and now neutral, sat alongside his teammates and about to perhaps get this game over the line. A man advantage and a B bomb site with the C4 ticking away, a fuse on the round. I like the boost over the top, but it's not going to bear any fruits. And with the bomb already halfway gone, PARIVISION need to get a wiggle on. They're just stuck behind the smokes. There's just no prospect of a round here. They already know it. Eventually, they're just going to have to send it through. Rigon takes another double, and Sunday Young and Nighty will be the two to finish off the job. And you can see the hype. You can see the energy. We didn't get to see this earlier on from ENCE, but this one really seems to mean a lot for them. That is a massive win.
Interestingly as well, Casillo, he is probably I'd say their second best rated player when it comes to just playing with that CT side as well. So yeah, it was quite a shocker that he wasn't able to perform there. But anyhow, Mirage is a different beast. Man, Belchnock has been so good when it comes to just that USPS. And here on the A side of Mirage, a bomb plant is not happening just yet. But Pony finally will punch in the digits. This is a bit awkward here for ENCE because for the most part, you kind of expect the T's to just push down CT spawn. But they have been pushed back. Pony, how is he able to get to some Young out of nowhere as well? And look at this, it's
no.
Rigon from behind, and what should have been a clear-cut victory for PARIVISION has been turned on its head, and ENCE now in the driver's seat. Yeah, Zello, he'll just simply back away from this one, maybe. Okay, some nice headshots to boot, but all in all, ENCE, that is such a big win.
Yeah, it's a bit of a kicker for PARIVISION. I think mentality-wise, they could have really done with winning that pistol round. Just try and get that energy going that we were talking about earlier on.
He's going to be the first point of contact here on B side, I would assume. But, ooh, that smoke. Ooh, that will slow things down for him. But not for Rigon. He's just going to walk on in. I mean, he's quite low HP, so I guess he's just a human decoy at this point. Milty is able to get a frag there on the A side of things, and this was all part of the elaborate ruse. Indeed, Rigon was just a human decoy in order for ENCE to...
Oh, God.
Oh, that is an oversight. Luckily, that smoke on connector has been eventually deployed, but now that smoke is about to fade, and PARIVISION still in this round. Milty not able to capitalize with a second big frag into ENCE. This was supposed to be a much more easier round to take. No, not against the USPS. Nate2, 1v3 though, giving it a best shot. Almost getting it on Zello, and yikes. Big yikes.
It's probably not. They're all adults.
With bladders.
Yeah. AW. Overrun, and oh god, the flashbang's brilliant. Casillo still while blinded, ends up with 2. Runs out of bullets, can't quite connect the third, but he's done his job, and he's done it beautifully. Holds down the line on this B site, and PARIVISION looking to double down. Snota on the back pillar, lovely headshot. He had an absolute stinker of a map on Dust 2. Some Young, my god, I counted him out of that, but when he hit the dink onto James, I thought maybe. Doesn't end up materializing. PARIVISION do.
A big round for ENCE, of course. A gun round and a Belchnock. Ooh, this is going to be some good timing for Belchnock, but no, Nate2 has just got the superior angle, whereas James fires off a good shot. If you're on the T side, re-peeking ramp, I might have some doubts about it right now. A minute and 20 seconds on the clock, Riggin. Ooh, this is Kira now. Costello, great timing, able to find both players going for the boost. And that might just be the two-piece that wins the round for PARIVISION. At least the two remaining ENCE players, they're together in this whole mess. Ooh, James. Oh, there you go. Spots him out. Even just goes for the dig. Wow, that is crazy. He wants to get that frag, that's for sure. And Natu unable to compromise. And well, Pody tries to get up close. It is AW with a much better frag. And PARIVISION, out of nowhere, you know, getting a few. In Nota's case, it's a lot more of the latter. And not really committing to anywhere. And look at this, Pody jumps up in the window, but doesn't commit. And now with a minute left on the clock right about now, ENCE looks like they are gearing up for this eventual A-side commit.
Milty all the way up. Big adjustment onto Nota. ENCE finally with a bit of success here on their T side outside of the pistol. It's felt like they've taken so long to recover after that awkward second round that was lost. Hopefully this is the start of better things to come. All five staying alive so far. AW sort of on the hunt. I mean, for Casillo, he's well on out of there. He's zoomed away. He's in the B apartments. He doesn't want to touch this any further. Unlucky for him, Pody's on the hunt. He's going to find a nice little freebie. For AW. Oh my god. Is he going for Ninja Defuse as well? He wants a bit of James magic. This is ridiculous. Again, lovely that Naitu is sticking around just to make sure this doesn't happen. There you go. Open plant. No chance. I can't believe we've seen it twice in one series. I love the attempt, though.
What can we see out of Nota because he decided to take such a forward position? But then again, like you said, if you are playing connector, that is kind of like a star position. Wow. So you do expect your player to perform. And right now, looks like Jane tries to be that guy to perform. Well, looks for the opening frag, but he just simply goes down without a fight. That's a big frag to take if you're ENCE.
That's huge. Jamie's been having some good impact as well. On that AWP, a good angle and wiped out instantly. ENCE with a man advantage and some room to play with. They're up short. They've got three-man pincer coming in from the apartments as well. Now, AW and Nota are on the site, but they've been two pretty weak links in this map. They've got to deliver here, and they do. Holding down the fort nicely. AW eventually overwhelmed, and Nota can't stay in the flames, so has to be quieter. And it merits him another. Onto Pody. Naitu left for the 1v3. This feels doable. He's got 50 seconds to work with. The bomb on his back, but not planted. So no fuse on the round. He's the one that's got to make the move, and they're not going to feed him until he attempts it. The HE comes over. Massive damage. Molly's going to cook him down to 1 HP. How is Naitu still alive? Well, he won't be for much longer. Casillo will finish the job. I really like that from PARIVISION.
It's quite surprising to see that Casillo is still able to find, you know, so much impact on this CT side. 14 frags for him, and some of his teammates, you could say, hey, AW is just on 3, Nota's on 5, but that does not seem to be that big of a deal, because, hey, even if Casillo is not able to find impact initially, a fair amount of intel for the CT side, so why not? This setup right now does make a lot of sense. Milty tries to win the fight against AW. Intel gathered by PARIVISION, but still not enough to play off. And look at this, we might see the connector push happen just in the nick of time. Pody takes care of James, and right now, if you're Belchanok, you gotta hold on to that ramp position because it just might save the round for PARIVISION.
Working his way up, Belchanok. Ooh. Kind of goes for the wrong target there. I mean, I guess not, because he works on the basis that if he doesn't kill the planter, then he's an easy target next, but still delays the bomb going down regardless. Gives his teammates a little bit of a chance to get back in. Pody's missing shots. He's got to get a reload. Sunday Young still, despite being low, connects for another. Leaves it all down to Nota. He's not been particularly strong in this series. He's been putting up some decent kills, to be honest, in some of these previous rounds. In the last, found a couple of key ones, but right here,
holding on to that connector position. And if there was, let's say, even a guy like Casillo would be holding that, I feel like he would find a lot more impact. And I guess that's the reason why we're having this change up right now, where Nota is on the B side of things. Casillo was out there in window. Now we got James. from connector with the AWP, getting close on stairs, but that smoke grenade has put a spanner in the works. Meanwhile, Miltsy and Riggin finding big frags, and Casello is out here looking for impact. He has already found 2 big frags, and Sumda Young right behind the smoke. It is, of course, Casello once again. Big frags for him, and this is what PARIVISION needed. All they needed to do was to put the right pieces on the right bomb site, and that should secure them the round. I say should. It's still doable with 1v2 for Pody, right?
Yeah, it certainly is. The bomb's recoverable as well. Nota hasn't actually got eyes on it. He's gone a lot deeper. He knows that Pody, before going for this plant, will want to try and push for one of these jewels. Instead, he's going to get that molly down. He's hoping that Nota's deeper in the corner. Very close shot. If that had connected, I'd have fancied Pody's chances at that, but narrowly misses, and PARIVISION push themselves on to 7.
They've just back-channeled their way through the apartments, and you can see Casello's here, AW, Jame with the AWP, and a flanking maneuver coming out from Belchanok, who might actually get caught out. That's a bit awkward because those T's don't seem to be aware of it. And Belchanok, oh yes he is. Here he just the footsteps. Big frag found on 1. But with 40 seconds remaining, this is a good adjustment from ENCE. I think you might as well make this play a reality. Riggin, though, out here in no man's land, but still in a pretty good position to maybe spot out a few players or just gather information. Up here in short, ooh, sees the player, but just unable to land a shot. But the rest of the core just has to commit on A side.
Yeah, options limited. But certainly the right decision, Rigon. If he can land a shot here onto Nota, this would be huge. He's not able to do so, but either way, a path for his teammates to get out onto the site. Nighty is going to try and run down Nota, led by the AWP, but he just wants to commit to this fight. Say, if I can go 1-for-1, I leave this a little bit easier for my teammates. Instead, goes down without a whole lot. He leaves it down to Pody and Sumda Young, 2 versus 4. Not out of the realm of possibility, but certainly not favorable. Sumda Young, yeah, it's such a mess on the first. Makes it a whole lot harder. Pody in the corner, tucked behind Tetris. Isn't able to land the headshot for the first. Running out of bullets. Knows he has to be conservative as he's tapping away his shadow around the corner.
And perhaps that could lend him another big round victory if they would have 9 rounds on the CD side of Mirage. Boy, oh boy, do we see difficult comeback for ENCE, but that 9 rounds, well, may not happen if Sumda Young is going to keep on hitting shots like that.
Nice shot, Jane. Means that Sumda Young's efforts not going to give them an advantage for all too long. Casillo with one right back onto Rigon. Nota with one of his own. But look at this. It's found a little gap for Sumda Young to walk all the way out. As soon as he drops, it'll make the noise. That's the problem. He's got Miltsy coming in from market. He's just got to wait for that smoke to fade. Problem is, Miltsy overextends, and Nota's able to finish off the job. PARIVISION push on to 9, and it is impressive stuff from their CT side. There were some real moments there. Yeah, I mean, they can't still be molding about the short plant, right? But I'm kind of with you. Sometimes it just sort of breaks the flow a little bit, and you can't really get your head back into the game after an awkward round loss like that. Miltsy's going to try his best to do so, though, here in the pistol round. Lovely opening shot. He's got to start to fall away, let his teammates take some of the pressure. That's exactly what Rigon and Miltsy do. Beautiful shots. Rigon eventually taken care of, but Miltsy ends up with a 3-piece. Makes that 4, sorry, at the end.
Is Jame intentionally giving away a sound cue so that one of those CTs checks underpass? Is that the reasoning behind it?
I don't know about that.
Big brain?
Big brain. Look at this. Sneaky stuff. Through underpass, just with the pistols. I'm not expecting a whole lot here. Pody could be in for a nasty surprise, though, as multiple heads poke over. The problem is they're all looking the wrong way. So he sprays down for 3, taps away for the 4th with the USP. Lovely stuff from Pody. Nice little stat pad. So he pushes 16 and 10. Still chance here, though. Still room, still time. 9-5, round number 15. PARIVISION do have a bite. ENCE have got some reasonable firepower to work with as well. 90 down to that MP9. Peek into ramp. Fair bit of damage dealt. That's a big kill from Pody.
Oh, this is big. I mean, Big frags coming out from Pody, Milty chiming in as well. And they don't even have a chance to enter the bomb site. Like, they're getting absolutely wrecked. No bomb plant, no nothing. And this is quite a dissatisfying showing from PARIVISION. First gun round is already going the way of ENCE. And, this is exactly what I'm talking about as well. ENCE win the pistol, to win the first gun round. And up next is like another sort of partial investment, sort of eco from PARIVISION. So another great chance to get around on the board. And by that point, I mean, we are talking of just a 2, maybe 3 round difference. So really, there's always
going to let ENCE have 6. This is where it really does start to close up, right? It gets a little bit scary.
Love the fact as well that Riggin is straight up trying to be aggressive. Has got some Young as backup. If you got some Young as backup, then there's really no need to worry about holding on to middle. What they might have to worry about is, in fact, the A bomb site. This is the faster play I was kind of hoping to see. James is waiting for a chance to strike. I am certain that a guy like Riggin should be anticipating someone close by or just lingering about an underpass. And there we go. That's Riggin securing a frag with James. And bomb plan comes in from PARIVISION. Now, the one big mistake ENCE could make is trying to respect PARIVISION too much, because that's why they have lost some of those rounds in the past. You don't want to be anticipating someone close by or just lingering about an underpass. And there we go. That's Riggin securing a frag with James. And bomb plan comes in from PARIVISION. Now, the one big mistake ENCE could make is trying to respect PARIVISION too much, because that's why they have lost some of those rounds in the past. You don't want to respect him too much, but also you want to have a good chance of winning this round. Milty with a big frag on 1. Pody with the AK-47. Nate chiming in as well. Then it's all up to Noda. Lengthy spray gets it on the one. Oh, the second. The third is right there. He's low at HP, and Nota, redemption for him as he wins the 1v3. And it's PARIVISION fired up on double digits.
It's going to be an A execution to try and get them onto that aforementioned 11th. Here come the smokes.
Nobody quite quickly. Casella with a big frag, but Pody's nade is also pretty damn good. Bomb plan not too shabby. I think it's being planted still in a sort of default position. Sadly enough, some Young just wasn't in the right position to try and stop it. I see another big problem for ENCE, and that is the fact that there's only one kid on the side of Natu. The scary part is they're still wondering that there is a chance for a flank. There has to be some sort of flank, but it's simply not there. All 3 players entrenched on Tetris, and that might just be enough to secure victory.
Had a rough time in the first half. They were 9-3 down. They took 3 on the bounce in the second half. I thought, yeah, hang on a minute, 9-6. They got a real chance at pulling this back their way, and they've gone really quiet since then. Pody not realizing just how close AW is. Does still manage to find a kill, though. AW just completely misses the opportunity, and now it's gone. It's in the wind. Pody is out of there.
Oh, AW has been, wow, somehow escapes anyone. either the short player and the connector player as well. Casello is at least able to reply with a frag of his own, but already you feel like ENCE have a really solid start at a round like this. It should only get better from here on out. However, let's see the off angle. What?
If PARIVISION are able to snatch this back their way, they've found their space on the A site. Big flick from Pody, doesn't connect. Casillo's going to plant safe. Other side of triple. Pody can't deny it. Continues to try and run shots in. Someday Young from jungle will, however, pull the numbers their way. Doesn't last long. AW, even while blinded, returns the favor. Very open plant. Gives them a lot of options. They're stuck here on Tetris. 1 in sandwich. Nightew's very aware. Takes the contact. Casillo's quicker to the trigger. Lovely headshot. Pody finally trades with the USP, but has to get in a reload. And AW is able to use his teammate as bait, as leverage for the round. And the map win still. As PARIVISION leaning over towards a mid-A split.
Yeah. This is just simply a commitment on the bomb side of A, and honestly, those are some sick headshots. Obviously, it's always quite fun to watch a USPS headshot, but so many in quick succession. I like the fact that at least ENCE, I mean, they could have some like Pody on a quick rotation, but they're still wondering. I mean, this could all just be an elaborate ruse, some utility deployed towards B, but the final commitment could be happening on A at any moment. Not this time, though. We can see for sure that it's AW with a frag and Cello as well. Just, he was just waiting out there for the chance to strike. And as he does, gets a big frag on the player who was just reloading that M3 when as of his. And that basically solidifies the round. Yeah, the B-side defenders, they just die way too quickly without finding a single frag or two. And that means that ENCE will have to look back at their monitors.
Round number 4, still a lot of equity here for the defense. No AWP, it's rifles all round. Should be a bit of a bloodbath here in middle. Run boost from Nightsu gets him up onto shelf very quickly. But James ready. He deals the damage. Insta trade back 4v4. And we've only just gotten started here in the round.
It's not a bad situation for PARIVISION to be in. It is quite awkward now that Sumdayung has to be the lonesome defender, keeping a close eye as well as on Donut and Main, but honestly, it's not that bad of a deal. Usually you do expect to have just that one defender on the A bomb side. Retaking A is always the possibility. Quite doable for the CTs. Whereas ENCE going for a bit of a gamble stack on B. This might just be the right choice. There we go. Mility's able to spot out a few players, just not able to get that frags. Luckily, he still has Riggin as backup. It's actually Riggin and Pody doing a lot of heavy lifting. Whips out the P250 to get a frag with Casello at a low HP. Noda should not be a problem, but Noda on for the clutch.
Oh, that's filth. Nota had no business. Connected those shots. A 3-man stack into Donut could actually get busy because PARIVISION are waltzing into the A site.
Pody still has the long range fight, which is crucial, but that smoke and Donut, this could put a spanner in the works, but really, it doesn't change the dial that much. ENCE is still losing some important players, and that is the big problem. Pody's able just to find the one frag with the AWP. That is simply not enough, and this was a force buy nonetheless out of ENCE. Economically speaking, it's not like they're swimming in dough. But at least now, some guys, finally looking pretty solid. Oh, I actually didn't notice that Noda is almost on 10 grand.
Round number 7. An important one for ENCE. They've had a little bit of a rocky start to this third map. Oh, I like the flash. Pete comes in a little too late. Casello manages to slip away. Rigon's still confident he should be able to crunch him here, and he does exactly that. Having to take the fight into elbow, though, and it's all getting a little bit awkward, but he does win the duel. Swaps out to the USP. Realizes if he tucks himself in the corner, he can get in a reload. Won't last long. HG comes knocking. And Rogon goes down. Still, they have the man advantage with 1:10 on the clock.
That's quite good for ENCE, admittedly. A very forward position from Milty. That's the one scary part, though, because he is quite low HP, and he is the lonesome defender. And AW, there you go, wins a pretty important gunfight. There's no one to worry about in heaven. Then again, Pody is making the quick rotation, and it is swift indeed. He's able to find one big frag, and that will deter Noda from pushing. Big problem, of course, for him is that this is practically a 1v3. James is on the other side of the map. Whoop, there we go. But actually, even Noda could get that bomb plant, but yeah, it's just being swarmed by these players on all sides. So bomb plant right about now will be attempted for a second time, and it's already lost a big chunk of HP. A lonesome James. Wow. Okay, that's lightning fast, but 10 seconds. Yeah. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, he realizes that as well. The problem is the threat of dying after time. Sumdayung thinking maybe he's on the site. Couple of little spams, swaps out to the AK. Won't find the sniper. That would have been disaster.
Avoid making mistakes as silly as that base down. They might put themselves in a much more winnable position. Here, though, already it's not that good. That Molotov is simply not deep enough, but somehow Pody tries to play in front of it, ends up dying in the process. And if there is a player you don't want to see dying on the side of ENCE, that is Pody. Luckily, SDY, he's still alive and kicking. Might cause a lot of damage. Ooh, but this is big. AW He's got his back turned, but now he seems to be aware of the incoming push of the players. They both line up, and Noda is there to follow up. And then low HP Milty is doing his best, but oh no, this is not looking good. Or is it? I think it's looking stellar. Casello finally with a response, and now where on earth is Natu?
Oh, there he is. Knock, knock. Hello. Maybe I'll take that back a little bit. I think he was second on the scoreboard, but they're going to be right up at the top here. Jane. AWP out, sees the arm. Oh, big flick. What? That's a huge kill. I'm not sure what Natu's doing there.
Yeah. That's quite questionable. I kind of feel like you got to stand your ground and try and get as many frags as you can, or at least inflict some damage before giving up. This is still looking pretty doable for PARIVISION, despite their sort of a lackluster purchase. Cody, that's a big frag. Now they know his position at least a second. Oh man, these rounds have been incredibly close. Like, this is delivering as a third map.
To follow up, AWP. Rifles to go with it. PARIVISION looking for a seventh, but ENCE don't want to allow that. Natu deploys the flashes. We'll see peeks off of the back of it. Rigon goes down first. Sunday Young with a nice refrag, but Jame ends up with a second. Man advantage. Milty vulnerable on B. Has to call in for the rotation. That's Pody. Doesn't actually come and join him the full weight. If there was contact on B, then he would have. But for now, just double checks mid. Yeah, no one's home. All right, I'll come and join you. PARIVISION playing very slow. Keeping ENCE guessing.
It's no wonder Pody is trying to be a bit more proactive in this round. They're already man down, so being aggressive could be just the right medicine. And it's good. It's a 3v3 at least. I was kind of hoping a repeat, a fast repeat from Belchanok, but that was not meant to be the case. Milty is able to find one. And I'm sure if you're Jame, you're probably expecting Pody on the other end. And that's the player you find. 40 seconds though. Belchanok finally makes his way out of Cheetah. And Jame, unable to win that one. I mean, Jame has been so good in the clutch. I mean, this entire day, but this time
back to reality. Number 12, ENCE looking to tie things up at 6 apiece, and they've got a pretty good chance at it as well. PARIVISION. This is a decent bite. There are vulnerabilities, and I hadn't even noticed until now. Sunday Young has bought himself an auto shotgun. 2 MP9s alongside as well to accompany. He'll upgrade into the AK and reel it in towards main. Still goes for another deep peek. Follows up with a headshot. That is huge. With a 2-man advantage. And certainly teed up to make this an even half. Re-smoke into Cheetah. And a brilliant recovery. How bad this could have been. Not quite over the line just yet. Pody on the angle. Here comes the contact. Ooh, can't quite hit the shot.
It's great to see that rotations are also happening pretty swiftly. Pody, that's the reason why he's not afraid to go for another repick. Meanwhile, PARIVISION, they at least get that bomb planted, but the problem is the positioning of the CTs. They're moving up so fast, and AW recovers an AK-47 for his problems. Okay, somehow Milty unable to get that frag. This is a full 10-second defuse. AW, no! How is he making it competitive? Not like this, ENCE of all the rounds to lose. This has got to be a one you take, but AW is playing this one so well.
Oh my
Ring
God.
around the Rosie and Natu. Oh, what a way to win. Is that an ace clutch for AW?
It was an ace out of the new star. We were talking to him earlier and he said, you know, take it on the chin. Unbelievable. We'll get it on the replay. How on earth have ENCE let this happen? Truly, truly ridiculous.
There we go. Bunch of players spotted out. I kind of like the fact that Belchanok decides to play just a little bit safer. Oh, this is a very interesting wraparound. Casello and Noda able to hold the line, and you gotta wonder, was the wraparound the right choice instead of, you know, planting your players on the side where they must be there to, you know, secure a bomb plant? Trying to go for the wraparound like that?
Trying to tiptoe through. Has to be careful with it. He knows that. Nota. Round the corner, big kill. Does he expect a second? Oh, he kind of does. Has to dial it back a little bit. Nightiu around this corner. Sees the shadows. It's a really awkward position to take fights from because Nightiu knows you're coming. Lines up the heads, as will Pody for 2. Belchanok. Blink and you miss it. A moment ago. He had 3 teammates alongside him and a major advantage. Now the numbers are against him. And with the C4 down and beeping away, this becomes a tall task. Jumps across. It's chaotic in midair against Nightiu. Boils down to a 1v1. And both players are low. But Pody's had a lot of time to reposition. Put himself into a favorable spot. Tucked in the corner. Belchanok clears it, but Pody's quicker to the trigger. And a must-win round for ENCE does come through. You see him wipe the sweat off his eyebrow.
Subscribe for that one. But yeah, 9-6, and PARIVISION. Wow, this might be a fast play here. ENCE out here on the bomb side. Belchanok, wow. 2 big frags found. What? They're not even clearing him. They're so hyper-focused on Donut, and Belchanok has just been given free reign to find massive frags. Okay, now he oversteps his welcome, but I still feel like this is a doable round to take if you're PARIVISION. But then again, AWP... Wait, AW... Yeah, AW is just on USPS. That's a dig for Casello. Maybe there's still a chance for ENCE to bounce back.
I'm tapped in. Pody. Tuck himself into Temple. Takes the contact here in Donut. PARIVISION with the man advantage, but without too much firepower. Still, AW will swing wide and get it done with the MAC-10. PARIVISION.
It kind of sucks as well for ENCE that they've reached a position where, sure, they could eke over potentially a better buy, but they also don't have a lot of rounds to work with. And who's up next? Well, Casello is facing off Pody. That's one big player to take care of, and AW able to find a frag on Brigand. Man, this is already looking terrible for ENCE. They decide to, you know, play fast and loose on the beat bomb side, but as we saw, timings were a little bit awkward. We saw some of the players moving in, whereas the rest of the gang backing away, and oof.
Yikes. Fully invested and no success. Not a single point of damage being dealt to PARIVISION here in round number 17. Nightiu looks to change that, but a 1v5 seems too tall a task. A beautiful one-tap to kick off proceedings, though. This would be one hell of a clutch, but Casello says no.
You're a guy like Casello. The fact that you are still alive on the server, I feel like that is the most important task for him. As we can see, ooh, what, he might be given a chance here. Oh, not gonna happen. Nota. Oh, Nightiu. Big frag's being found. Suddenly that opens up the A bomb side. At the very least, they don't have to worry about any flanks anytime soon. If anything, if you're PARIVISION, you're probably just holding on to the bomb sites. And ENCE, you do have the man advantage. Like, this is a great chance as Eddie to just fully commit on one of the bomb side and hope for the best. You should trade it out effectively. On the other hand, though, you have to go up against James. Misses the first shot. Good chance for Casello maybe to dish out some damage. There we go. Casello with a frag of his own. Bomb plant is still looking good for ENCE. But the retake is definitely on. PARIVISION don't really have much to lose, so they could give it a shot. The one dissatisfying thing is, of course, the low HP that you have on Casello with 56, Jane 111, so maybe that's a reason to back away. And apparently that is a sound reason to back away. So even though ENCE Belchanok, I feel like it does make a lot of sense to just keep hold on the position itself. I feel like he would find more impact that way, but this is also good, especially with the likes of Nota as a backup. Jane finding a frag of his own, and Nota picking up another. I feel like that's going to be it here, folks. Pody in a 1v4. Sure, we saw an amazing 1v4 coming out from AW, but I'm probably not from Pody. The man is on 39 points of health, and he sure could get a frag on Jane, which is pretty impressive, but as it tries to go in for more, I mean, they know his position. Bomb is out there in the middle of nowhere. He's going to have to be one locked-in gamer to get a... Oh, might actually be given a chance here. Will he? Actually is. What? Okay, gets a frag, but no way. Pody is coming alive with this one. Not going to happen. And PARIVISION after... Wow, a lot of Counter-Strike, a lot of maps, and a lot of rounds. They finally have what it takes to close it out. And the most important part is as well,